Welcome at the lecture Technology and Academic Integrity. My name is Dita Henek-Labulova and I'm from European Network for Academic Integrity. This lecture was created within the project Facing Academic Integrity Threats, which was supported by the program by Erasmus Plus Cooperation Partnerships in Higher Education. Before we start, just a quick disclaimer that the European Commission is not responsible for the content of this lecture. So, technology and academic integrity. Let's start with several questions. I guess some of the answers are pretty easy. Can technology undermine academic integrity? And I think that most of the teachers would say yes, of course. We are seeing it every day, students plagiarizing from the internet, students cheating with the smartwatch. Then when I ask, can technology support maintaining academic integrity? I guess we can also answer yes, because most of the or many institutions are using some text matching software to find plagiarism, which is really helping us with this aspect. So yes, it can. But the next question is technology itself able to assure academic integrity? And here the question is probably rather no, because if we would just use the text matching software to check all students' work, this doesn't mean that we would get rid of all plagiarism and that students would not plagiarize and cheat at all. And what is also important to realize that when we ask that if technology can harm academic integrity, and here the answer is yes, if used incorrectly. And this comes to the main message of this lecture. What I would like to give you about the technology and academic integrity is how to use the technology correctly, not to harm academic integrity. And I'm going to base this message on two pieces of research on technology. Both of them were performed by one working group of the organization where I come from. This is the European Network for Academic Integrity. And one piece of research was on support tools for plagiarism detection, or so-called text matching software. So this is one aspect of technology that we are going to focus on. And the other piece of research is on tools for detecting text written by artificial intelligence. So the tools which can recognize or which claim to recognize whether the text was written by human or if it was generated by artificial intelligence. So let's start with the first one, with the support tools for plagiarism detection. So the research questions there were if we can claim that a certain document is original just based on a report from a text matching tool. So if a text matching tool says 0% of text match, can we say this is original document? Then whether if we can always classify some text match as plagiarism. Is it true? When there is a text match, can we always classify it as plagiarism? As we were testing support tools, many tools, then the next question was, are there some tools which are reliable than the other ones? And the other question was how easy or comfortable is to work with such software. So to perform this testing or this research, we did it as an international team within the working group that I already mentioned. I'm part of the working group and I was part of this research group, and the working group name is Technology and Academic Integrity. This research is quite old. It was performed in 2018-2019, so the results are already a little bit outdated. On the other hand, the general point of the results, what I'm going to show you, I believe this is still true, and this is still valid, and this is still take a lot of that we can take from this research. To our knowledge, this is the largest test of text matching tool that was ever made, or that was made so far. We were testing documents in 8 languages, and we tested 15 different systems. The results are, of course, the results are, of course, published. They were published in a paper. I provided the link in the description of this video, or in the description of this material. You will find the link, so you don't have to rewrite it here from the video. The system which we were checking, we were searching for various systems all over the internet. So we, of course, took the big players as Turnitin, but we were trying to find basically everything which is available. And we always were testing only the systems which were which agreed with the testing. So if you are aware of some system which was working by that time, they might not have agreed with the testing. So we were testing the big players, small web-based systems, and also national systems which are focused on the national languages. So some of the systems did not perform well because they were focused on some languages. To test the systems, we created a set of testing documents in 8 European languages, in English and in the languages of the international teams and a team. And we were plagiarizing from different types of sources, from Wikipedia, from open access journal papers, and so on. And we were creating documents with different types of plagiarism. So we plagiarized one document like copy pasting, then we did some synonym replacement, we did some paraphrasing, we did translation, we were combining plagiarism from multiple sources. We basically just needed to create a set of plagiarized documents where we know how much plagiarism is in the documents, so we can then assess the results of the system. When we were assessing the results, we basically ignored the percentages which the systems provided us because we could see how unreliable and basically out of any context these percentages might be. For the same document, for the same amount of plagiarism, there might be two systems which give you, like on the first side, more or less the same amount of plagiarism, but the percentage differ because they have a different way how they count the percentages. There were some of the, let's say, rather low quality systems which even gave for the same document, when you run it in the system twice, they give you a different amount of plagiarism, the different amount of percentages. So we basically just ignored the percentages, and we had our own evaluation of how much plagiarism is in the document. And we had a huge advantage that we know how much plagiarism we created. So if the system found all the plagiarism that we created in the document, we gave 5 points. If the system was totally out and did not find any of the plagiarism that we created, it received 0 points. Here you can see it even color-coded, so green means the good performance, red means bad performance, and orange and yellow is the scale in between. And you can see that when we were just copy pasting from Wikipedia, the systems usually performed really well. Some systems received even 5 or something really close to 5. But when we did synonyms replacement, just like really simple synonym replacement, you can see that some systems were really tricked. And when we did paraphrasing, and it was just rather sloppy paraphrasing, it wasn't good quality paraphrasing, this was how it was planned. We will not rewrite the documents perfectly, we will just do some sloppy paraphrase as a student who is in rush. The performance of the systems went really down. I think the best performance is like even below 3. So imagine that when the students have the artificial intelligence tools right now, which can do the paraphrasing for them, and these systems can be tricked really a lot. When we compare the type of source, it really differs from which source we were plagiarizing. Here I think we can have even higher difference between the systems. For example, the DPV, you can see that it really performed bad, but this is Slovenian national system, and it had problem to find the documents which were not like Slovenian documents, so this is the reason for their like really low performance here. On the other hand, these are like all types of plagiarism mixed together, and you can see with Wikipedia still some systems perform quite well, but even open access papers or student theses which were publicly available online, we could find it at the Google, so it means students could find it on Google and they can use them as a base for plagiarism. Some of the systems might not find. So even like publicly available resources, we are not having anything in the paywalls, anything which is just after login, everything was publicly available. The systems might have problem to find it. So here it is really important to realize that depends from where the student plagiarizes, because if he or she chooses a good source from the point of view that that's a source which your plagiarism or text matching software has a problem to find out, then it looks like an original document, but it was just plagiarized from the document which your text matching software couldn't find out. So this is very important to have in mind when we think, oh, there is zero plagiarism, then it's there is zero text match, so there is no plagiarism. No, there still can be plagiarism which was just hidden. And speaking about method regarding like how easy it is to hide plagiarism, you can see the difference between the copy paste and the change of synonym, the paraphrasing, and the translation. I believe that the paraphrase and translation could have changed within the 6 years since we've finished this testing. On the other hand, right now for students it's so much easier to automatically paraphrase or translate the documents with the Gen AI tools. By that time, basically, when we translated the document, the systems could not find it, because you can see that like the 0 point something which the system could find, usually there were like random matches. They were matches like in the names which couldn't be translated, or some pieces of text in the document which was omitted by the translator. So the overall decision on the systems is that we compared them from the point of view on how well they found the plagiarism. This is the axis X, and the usability, how well we were able to work them, what was the user experience. So from the point of view of the user experience, you can see that some systems are really high on this y-axis, so they performed pretty well. On the point of view of what they can find, you can see that the best one, they are slightly above like 50%. So the systems are not reliable from the point of view that they will find any instance of plagiarism. Regarding this final result, there have been some changes in the market since we published our results. So basically the 4 top performing systems, they are now all merged under the Turnitin. Which probably even make them the stronger player in the market, and I hope merging all like good aspects from all these 4 top well-performing systems will even improve their system. So the conclusion, what is the message to take away from this, and how to use text matching software correctly, not to harm academic integrity. So what is important to realize, it's also a thing which I haven't mentioned so far, and this is that the text match doesn't mean plagiarism. What we found out during our research, that the systems did not much produce false positives, which means something which is just original and they mark it as text match. They usually don't do it, but they can be marked similarities, which are totally okay. Sometimes the systems, they do not recognize properly cited content, and whoever is evaluating the report from the text matching software has to do this manually and say, yes, this is properly this is properly cited, so this is okay. There might be some like random matches, random phrases, some really long names which are like on one row. Of course, they will be highlighted, but again, it's up to the evaluator who have to say, okay, this is just the name of some European Commission program which has like 20 words. Of course, there is a text match because this name is used all over the internet. And also always there can be like weird things which are happening, that it's a text match with the previous part of the student work which wasn't evaluated, but it has been somehow published and it's totally okay. There might be sometimes a situation when the student work has been already plagiarized, that somebody already plagiarized from it because somebody stole from it or something like this. There are always crazy situations which might happen, and it's always important to discuss with the student when there is some suspicion from the plagiarism. Maybe you noticed that I was trying to use the term text matching software. Maybe I sometimes mentioned like something like plagiarism detector by accident, but I was trying to avoid it because basically plagiarism detection tool does not exist. The tools, they always find the text match, they find the possible plagiarism, but it's always up to the evaluator who has to decide whether this text match is a plagiarism or not, from the reasons I discussed before, or also that just the tool might not find the text match and there is still plagiarism. That's my next point. The systems might not find the source. You could see that in our test they could not find the sources so much, or they might be deceived quite easily by the translation, by paraphrasings. And even some of the systems, especially the ones which are just web-based, they are kind of free or for some really low price. You can pay, I don't know, like $1 and get credits for 10 plagiarism checks or something like this. Be aware there of terms and conditions. Some of the systems, we found out about one system that was selling the documents, and if you are checking your system, your students' work in some just external system, not the system which your institution has access to it, like officially, you might be actually even harming the intellectual property rights of the author of the document. So be very careful about this, and when you are using any like external systems. So let's move to the second piece of research, and there was a testing of detection tools for text generated by the artificial intelligence. And here the research questions were if the existing detection tools can reliably differentiate between human written text and ChatGPT generated text, and whether the machine translation or some content obfuscation techniques can affect this detection. This test was performed in 2023, in spring 2023, which is like the time of ChatGPT 3.5. I think that ChatGPT 4.0, which is like the currently, like in early 2025, the common modern version came in 2024. So it was before this version, which is even better. So again, now I'm presenting only like less than 2 years old research, but it's already also like a little bit outdated. Again, I believe there is still a lot of things which are still important to realize, and there is a lot of message which is coming with this. So again, this was performed in an international teams. In this time, we were testing 14 rules, and there were 14 tools, and there were 54 testing documents. Again, the results has been already published. Again, you will find the link to the article in the description for this video or for this material. Here is the list of the systems which have been tested. Some of them are like again, like from the big players. Again, I will repeat, for example, Turnitin. Other ones were just web-based. Some of them are not functioning anymore, so they were just like really short-term, short-life systems. Regarding the testing documents, again, in the team, we created the documents so we know how we created, so we can see how well the system recognizes its origin. So of course there was an original human written document which has been never published before on the internet. Then there was a document written in human, like by human, but in a non-English language. And then there was a subsequent machine translation or translation by the artificial intelligence. There was a pure generated text by artificial intelligence, and there was an artificial intelligence generated text with manual edits, and then it was artificial intelligence generated text with machine edits or machine paraphrase. So here is the overall accuracy for like all these types of documents for all systems. So you can see that the best performing was like in overall, so recognizing human written as human written and artificial intelligence written as artificial intelligence written. So the success, highest success was 80%. I think like it's like between something 60 and 70. It's like the general result, which seems quite fine. So let's dive a little bit deep to it and kind of like analyze the results. So when we put all the systems together, making them one average system, which a little bit hides like the systems which are like really well performing. Regarding the human written, the overall result was something like 95%. So in 95 cases of 100, if you have human written texts, they would classify it as human written. When there was the machine translation from the human written, the accuracy decreased quite a lot. The accuracy was only 80%. With the accuracy of recognizing the AI written text as AI written text was something about 70%. When there were some manual edits of the AI written text, it decreased to almost 40%. And when you had the AI written text with AI changes or with AI paraphrasing, which is the very last row in this table, the accuracy when the system classified correctly as AI written was just about 20%, something like 25%. And if you compare the difference between the first row in this table or in this chart and the last row, this is the main message. Because imagine that you have a class of 100 students, and if all of them write their work properly, if they all of them write their text by themselves, you would come to 5 of them and say, hey, you didn't write it by yourself. Artificial intelligence wrote it, and here you go, I give you 0 mark, or you get expelled from the university or whatever. And what the student says, they would say, well, I wrote it by myself. And you say, yeah, but here the tool says that you did not write it by yourself. And there is no proof or any of the side. The student has basically no way how to protect themselves from your accusation, and you have no way how to prove your accusation. And this is the huge problem, because when you had the accusation of plagiarism, which wasn't fair, the student, you had to first prove it. You would have to need to have show the text match, and then the student can explain the situation, for example, that this is his older work which hasn't been never submitted, but it somehow happened to be at the internet, or some explanation. But here with this accusation, you did not write it by yourself, AI did it. There is no way how you can provide proof on any other side, any of the side. On the other hand, if we take a look at the last row, we have a class of 100 students, and all of them generate the text by AI, and all of them then just paraphrase it with AI, with 25 of them, which is like more or less 5 times more when in the previous case. 25 of 100 students, you would say, oh, great work, you wrote it by yourself, there is no sign of AI in your text. And yeah, you would find these other 75, but with 25 of students, you would think that they wrote it by themselves, but they did not write it by themselves. It was just completely AI generated. And here with the AI generation, there comes another issue. Like, better tool you use, the higher chance is that the AI will not be discovered. And using a better tool probably means paid version. So this means that the student who can afford paid versions of the tools will hide better that they used the AI when they should not be using the AI. So this is the main message about the detection of AI generated text. These systems who claims to detect it for the academic and educational setting, we can't say they are accurate, and we can't say they are reliable. They can diagnose human written text as AI generated, and this is a huge issue in educational setting. If you take a look at the previous results, like from the point of view of some kind of like testing, we are interested how fine they are working, they look fine, the results. But in the educational settings, when you are deciding whether the student wrote it by themselves or not, this is not precise enough, because there is no proof that the student can say, I did it by myself. And also, they often diagnose the systems as the artificial intelligence generated text as human written. And this is also big trouble, because especially when I mentioned that the students who can afford buying and paying for better versions of the systems can hide their misconduct much better than the students who can't afford it. So the conclusions regarding the detection tools for the AI generation, there is no easy solution. I don't think that in early future there will be a system which could reliably find out whether the text was generated by AI, because there is such a huge and quick development in the artificial intelligence. The tools are developing so fast, I mean the tools for generating the text and the detection, they are always reacting, so they will be always behind. I would just like really wondering what will be exactly the same results with the better version of ChatGPT. Probably it will be like even more scary. So what is important to focus on instead is on preventative measure, building culture of academic integrity, and also to rethink the academic assessment strategies. That just give the assignment, like home assignment to students, write me whatever you think about this topic, is not good assignment anymore. And the written assessment should rather focus on the process, on the development of the skills, than on the final product. And probably we also need to include the artificial intelligence into our assessment and also in our teaching. And I guess you might welcome some guidance on the topic of working with artificial intelligence in your teaching, in your classes. And here I have one tip for you. Within the Facing Academic Integrity Threats project, we created and collected several materials on these topics. The materials are freely available in the database of European Network for Academic Integrity. I here have the link for you, academicintegrity.eu/materials. There are many materials on various topics, so just feel free to explore the topics. They are available mainly in English, but some materials are also translated to some other languages. So feel free to use any of these materials in your courses, in your teaching, in your work with the students. If you have any questions about this topic or about the educational materials or about teaching with academic integrity, feel free to contact me on my email, dita.labolova@academicintegrity.eu, and also feel free to explore the web pages of the European Network for Academic Integrity and also of the FATE project. So before I will conclude this lecture, I would like to thank you very much for joining me in this lecture, and also thank you very much for being interested in teaching with academic integrity and in building the culture for academic integrity. Goodbye.